118 strikeouts and 59 walks on the year.
Well, it's really great to see her getting another chance because, you know, yesterday, just not how you want to end the season. This is a pitcher where giving up is not in her vocabulary, and so great to see her getting that last chance on senior day. It's Langford in the box to lead off the game for the Wolverines. The 1-0 is taken for a strike. Corners in pretty shallow. Chavez has been much of the series basically halfway towards home plate.
Yeah, I mean, with Langford, she gets on base. I mean, you see her on-base percentage super high. What she does is she bunts, like we see there, slaps. So it's the defense you need on a slapper.
1-2 count, bunt threat removed. In her one inning, the first inning yesterday, Shorts gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk in 8 batters faced. She was replaced by Sousa and then Hazik for the top of the 5th inning. The 2-2 fouled off. One thing we'll certainly be keeping our eye on, Autumn, is how Schwartz is able to get ahead, stay ahead in the count, something we've been watching all year. That one is popped up behind shortstop. Nice play by Tobias, backtracking, finding that through the sun.
Yeah, and that's just the typical spot where a slapper is going to hit the ball. We saw the outfield shifted over a little bit. That's fully where you expect the ball. So great job with her back pedal and getting right under it.
Conway went 1 for 2 yesterday with a walk. She scored 2 runs and had a run batted in as well. See her season stats there. Missed her mark, and it's a 2-0 count.
Yeah, you said it, with Schwartz working from behind all season. She's done a lot better job this weekend and then last weekend as well, taking out yesterday's start. So that will be a key for her, is just to stay ahead on these hitters, as she has thrown the majority of the innings for the Gophers this weekend. So showing the great Michigan hitters even more pitches can be a little bit detrimental.
3-0 count. Gets that one over. Well, there have certainly been some times that Schwartz has struggled this season, but through a lot of the games, she has been just delivering consistently, just like a well-oiled machine. And, you know, starting off with a walk there, already got 1 out, but you'd love to see her go out on a good outing. Runner on first, 1 out. Start off the top of the first. Up to the plate is Lauren Putz. Driven, deep center. It's gone. A 2-run home run from Lauren Putz. Puts the Wolverines on top, 2-0.
What a great job by Putz. I mean, we don't see a lot of pitchers throwing inside to lefties, and she was just able to get her hands at that and take it over the center field wall.
Michigan certainly has had a fair share of close home runs, or 2 close home runs this series. Ramey's yesterday, as well as this one. Putz has primarily hit her home runs out to right or right center. And so good job adjusting to that pitch as it brings up, with a 2-run lead and 1 out, Ella Stevenson. The 1-0 to Stevenson, taken for a strike. .345 hitter on the year. She'll be battling from behind in the count.
Schwartz just has to make sure that, I mean, she doesn't let anything affect her. It's only the first inning, only one hit. So you never know when the hit that's going to change the game is going to happen, but.
Well, ground ball off the glove of Schwartz. Good job picking it up from Easton. That gets by her. Play over at second. And the throw well ahead of her. So a good job making up from that error for the Gopher defense. Gets a unconventional second out.
I mean, what a great job. We've seen quite a few times this season where an error occurs and then just not hustling to the ball afterwards. But we see Shard runs. Maybe runner gets a little too far past first and has a hard turn to second. But great job.
Well, it's the classic 1-4-6-3 out, as that fly out to left will finish off the top of the first. Michigan gets on the board early. Gophers get the first out to Langford, put Conway on via the walk, and then a Lauren Putz two-run homer. Michigan leading 2-0 after the top of the first on Big Ten Plus. Other than Tobias, the third time through the order, Chavez and Tobias had 2 hits each yesterday against Derkowski. And she'll take a strike to start things off. Schwartz, that 5th hit for the Gophers yesterday, and Kraft 1 walk. She'll try to lay one down, not a good pitch for it. Evens up the count. Two-one count for Tobias.
As a leadoff hitter here, Tobias is just looking to see as many pitches as she can from Derkowski to kind of help her team out, see what she's throwing. And of course, the main goal is to get on base.
Well, that's certainly something that we saw different yesterday. Gophers early in the game did a good job seeing a lot of pitches. Later in the game, they got a little overeager and were swinging at not great pitches early in the count. And Tobias works it full. The full count to the leadoff batter, fouled off. We'll try it again.
Looks like Tobias stepped out of the box there. So she will be called out. So for anyone watching, you do have to keep both feet in the box. That has been a big issue in the past few years, just trying to keep slappers, mostly slappers, in the box. But it does apply to every hitter.
Well, that's something we've seen quite a bit from Tobias lately. Even it's been somewhat of an issue when it's gone uncalled. So hopefully she can figure that out for the rest of this game. Kraft will pop one foul, and it's 2 outs on 7 pitches for Derkowski.
So it's been great to see her have just such a breakout year, her senior year.
Well, of the 4 graduating seniors for the Gophers, the top third of the order is 3 of them. The other one being Kayla Chavez, hitting in the 6th spot. Valencia with 2 outs and a 1-0 count. Will foul one down the left field line. That'll be retrieved out and left by Sealer. Just 9 pitches so far for Derkowski. Swung on, popped up shallow right, and the play made in the infield dirt by Langford. It's 3 up, 3 down for the Wolverines. They'll head back up to the plate, protecting a 2-0 lead. 2 runs on 2 hits. Gophers still hitless when we return here on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
It's a beautiful day out, perfect for a barbecue after the game. just great weather for senior night or senior day.
Yeah, beautiful softball weather. Doesn't really get better than this.
Well, this is what you get when you get to play into May in Minnesota. And so the Gophers will look to work from a 2-0 deficit. Sid Schwartz up, it's 4-5-6. And strong fan support for the Gophers. They've had some good showings all year, but a little bit extra on senior day.
Two sellout crowds on the weekend. It's great. I've talked about it before. We love our fans. We love when they come out and pack Jane Sage. It's such a fun atmosphere to play in. Just honestly at any stadium as well. It's cool to have the support.
Schwartz fouls one off, makes a 2-1 count, caught off the fence by Valmont. Well, it's a program that's consistently able to draw out a great youth showing. Local high schools, players at younger levels. Always great to see the next generation of softball here at these games.
Yeah, Minnesota every year does, whoever's from Minnesota of that year, they do their city type of day. So really draws a crowd. It's fun to see all the girls come from all over the state.
The 2-2 to Schwartz, swung on and missed. And there's the first out of the bottom of the second.
That's just such a pretty changeup. I talked about it earlier. She throws about 68, upper 60s, and then just throwing that changeup in there, she hides it so well. Really hard to just even see it. So what a great combo of pitches.
Well, it'll be a 1-0 count to Snipes. 237 hitter on the year. 3 home runs, and they've all come in very clutch moments. She'll work ahead in the count. Michigan leading 2-0, bottom of the second, 1 out to the 5-hitter. And she gets that first strike. The 2-1 from Derkowski. Batted over to the right side of the infield. Fielded cleanly, Langford over to Ramey for the second out of the inning.
Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 77. Gopher fans, give it up for
Kayla Chavez, the last senior in the lineup. Her, Tobias Kraft, and Valencia. She'll fly one high up over to the left of the third baseline, caught in foul territory. 6 up, 6 down for the Gophers. After 2, your score, Michigan leads 2-0 on 2 hits. No errors either side, so the Gophers have some work to do when we return here on Big Ten Plus.
Gopher softball's latest goal to choose which song you want to hear in the middle of the 6th inning.
Coming from Schwartz's Friday outing, where she had a spectacular day, though the Gophers have not been able to crack Derkowski.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just accredited to the off-speed work that she uses. And then, of course, for Derkowski, we talked about it last inning, her changeup. I mean, when you have those off-speeds and changeups, it just allows you to get so many more strikeouts.
Soft line drive picked up in the air from Tobias. makes one quick out and sends the Wolverines back to the top of their order. And Autumn, you also talked on Friday about Erin Hain. She did not use the changeup nearly as much as the Gophers are used to seeing, and so it's also a different look in that regard. And so top of the order, a 1-0 count to Langford. Once again, Chavez about halfway in. The 1-0, she'll lay the bunt down. Nice bunt. Kraft picks it up, and not in time. Perfectly executed bunt for a base hit.
That's exactly what you want out of your leadoff hitter. I mean, she has no home runs on the year, so that's kind of the stuff she does. She bunts, and I don't know, when you pair that with speed, it's hard to get her out at first.
Well, one of just 2 batters in the lineup with no home runs, yet she leads the team with average. High fly ball, shallow left. Cosgriff comes in to field it, and it's 2 away in the top of the 3rd.
We're seeing a lot more flyouts off of Schwartz today than we have pretty much in any game this whole season. Schwartz is a drop ball pitcher with the off speeds, which causes a lot of girls to ground out instead of fly out.
She'll get that first strike to Conway. Conway again, 1 for 2 yesterday. The steal, throw not quite in time. And my apologies, it's Putz at the plate, who had the home run back in the 1st inning. Langford on second now. Ground ball, right side. Ground out will end the inning, so Gophers get out of it in 4 batters. Quick work in the last 2 innings from Schwartz. And now the Gophers a chance back at the plate, still trailing 2-0, 2 runs on 3 hits for Michigan. Gophers still have yet to reach base. We'll see what they can do. It's 7-8-9 Easton Burnett Cosgriff when we return. Gophers certainly hoping to get somebody on and move back to the top of the order. But a first pitch ground out to short.
Yeah, Derkowski's done a great job of just inducing weak ground balls this whole game. A lot of inside pitches, hitting her corners, getting the Gophers to just not make solid contact.
Breezy Burnett in the box. Just 22 pitches for Derkowski through 2 1/3. Burnett, one of the best outfielders, and having a career-high hitting season. She'll work with an 0-2 count. The 0-2, Derkowski to Burnett.
I love when pitchers come inside on 0-2 counts. I know we talked about it earlier and how a lot of pitchers don't want their 0-2 pitch to be on the plate, but we don't see inside 0-2 pitches too often.
Well, we'll piece together how the zones are today. Yesterday it was an extremely tight zone. It was Susan Eads behind the plate. Today it's Sergio Villarreal behind the plate, Havenhill at first, and Eads over at third. So the 2-2 to Burnett. Strike 3 swinging. It's 8 up, 8 down.
I mean, that's the exact pitch I would have gone with in that situation, especially with Burnett. She tends to struggle a little bit more with changeups. And when you have such an elite changeup like Derkowski, I mean, I really would love to see her use it more, but I think she's using it a perfect amount.
Cosgriff batting in that 9 spot, hoping to send things back to the top of the order.
Seems like we might have a tight zone today, too. Some pretty pitches.
The 1-0 to Cosgriff. So when you're working with that tight zone, what adjustments do you have to make?
I mean, you kind of just have to keep throwing the way you're used to throwing and then hope that the umpire will open up their zone. I mean, I just think with how good the bats are and how good hitters are, tightening your zone that much is almost dangerous in a sense. Like, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Forcing a pitcher to throw the ball too much on the plate, I don't believe in that. So I think just sticking with your pitches, hoping maybe the hitters just figure it out.
Well, it's Cosgriff fouling that one off, so a 2-2 count. Certainly makes a difference where in the lineup you are. We've seen pitchers largely pitching around Kraft so far this weekend and much of the season. Of course, her getting hit twice this series. Two fouled back. We'll try it again.
It's also interesting. I know you talked about yesterday in the game, the Gopher hitters started to open up their zones a little bit more in the game, later on in the game. So when an umpire has a tight zone, you don't really need to open up your zone as a hitter if they already have a tight one. So being more selective with pitches.
Soft line drive up the middle is the first Gopher base hit and the first base runner. Cosgriff on board will bring Tobias back up to the plate.
Cosgriff just able to identify that changeup and then drive it up the middle. I do think Derkowski could use it earlier in the counts to be a little bit more successful, as she's only thrown them later in the counts.
0-1 for Tobias. Again, she had 2 hits yesterday. And the 0-2.
We see her standing still in the box as opposed to her first at-bat where she was walking through or slapping. She was called out for stepping out of the box in that first at-bat, so that could be part of the reason for her standing in.
To Tobias, the 0-2 is taken for a ball. Cosgriff on first. The first at-bat of the game with the runner on base. Taking the runner goes Cosgriff. She's thrown out just barely. We'll see if the Gophers want to take a look. Cosgriff certainly thought she was safe, but a great throw from Valamont. We'll take another look here. Good job putting on the tag from Fantucci. Sends the Michigan bats back up to the plate.
Just not expecting that in Austin, Texas, honestly. So don't know that any of us were really prepared, but yeah, I do remember that game quite well.
Well, Ella Stevenson in the box for Michigan. Schwartz still out in the circle. It's 4-5-6, Stevenson, Valmont, Sealer. A combined 1 for 3 today. 2 of Michigan's 3 hits, the single and the homer that scored her, coming from Langford and Putz. Soft line drive, great play by Schwartz.
What a play. I talk about it every game that Schwartz is playing. I mean, if you are able to defend your position as a pitcher, it just makes it that much easier on your defense. That's not a common play for many pitchers to make. As we see, she's just reaching across her body.
Well, there was the weird play earlier that went off her glove, and then Easton took it, threw it over to first, the error there, and then they got her over at second. And that's another play where, you know, yes, there was an error and it was a bit of a ricochet play, and yet Schwartz did a great job blocking that down. It surely would have been a single up the middle if she hadn't. And so just one of the best at fielding her position. And now 1-1 count for Valmont. The 1-1. Again, the Gopher crowd bringing the energy. They've been very vocal this year. Any sort of call they're not quite sure on. Ground ball over to third. Chavez fields it cleanly. Over to Chard for the second out of the inning.
When an umpire has a tight zone, and I don't think the one that was called a ball was a strike, actually. I do think it was a little inside, but when the umpire has a tight zone, you still just have to work with what you got. You can't let it affect you, because once you start blaming things on the umpire, you get in your own head. It's honestly just like, it derails you as a pitcher. Softball is such a mind game, so you kind of have to just stay in your zone and not focus on the umpire.
Well, 2 outs in the top of the 4th. A drive down the right field line that'll be about 6 feet foul. So it's a 1-1 count to Sealer. .45 pitches so far for Schwartz. Fouled off. Certainly a fast game so far, almost 3.5 innings in under 45 minutes.
Just gonna say, in experience as a player, the first 5 seem to always go fast and the last 2 go a little bit slower.
Ground ball, right half the infield. Easton takes it over to Chard, and 3 more up, 3 more down. Schwartz looking good since the top of the 1st. Gophers still just the 1 hit, just the 1 base runner. And so they will have some work to do when we return. It'll be top of the order for the Gophers.
Really no question as to how she's doing it.
And so a phenomenal outing this weekend. 5 scoreless innings, then 3 more today. Bunt from Tobias, and a nice play. Michigan was ready for it.
Erickson has just been so great at third. I mean, she attacks every ball that's hit to her. So, I mean, a bunt from Tobias, you kind of expect a bunt or a soft slap.
Taylor Craft. She'll take a pitch. Like we said, she's had quite a good weekend. Had that 2-run homer in the bottom of the 1st on Friday, which put the Gophers on top, and they never looked back.
I mean, not really just a good weekend. She's had such a great career, and even just this season. This season, her numbers are matching her All-American year from 2023. So it's just so great to see how well she's been doing.
Well, she has 1 home run from tying 2019 Natalie Den Hartog for the 6th best home run season in Gopher history with 17. She'll fly that one over in foul territory by the Wolverine dugout. And it's 2 more quick outs for Derkowski.
Number 21, Valencia.
Michigan still having faced the minimum number of batters with that caught stealing for Cosgriff. Ground ball over to third. Strong play over from Erickson. And it's 3 more up, 3 more down. 12 up, 12 down in total for this Gopher offense. Michigan would still like some extra run support. Schwartz has been great in the 2nd through 4th innings. We'll see if she can keep it up when we return on Big Ten Plus. Wolverines. Schwartz had a tough, really just first 3 batters, and she's looked pretty good since.
Yeah, I mean, not as much tough. I mean, you never know when the pitch that's going to change the game is going to come, and it just happened to be possibly, still can happen for the Gophers, but in that first inning with that home run, the 2-run home run.
Early ground ball over the middle. Nice play from Tobias at short. 1 pitch, 1 out. Start off the 5th.
I'm just going to say, if Schwartz was going to get that, I was going to lose my mind. Absolutely amazing play. Tough play. I mean, kind of in between pitcher and shortstop there. So great job by Tobias just coming up, throwing it over to first.
Well, she got about as much action defensively as I've seen from her all year on Friday and handled it all great. A bunt, Kraft will not get there in time. And so the 8 batter is on board.
Yeah, they just looked like a little bit surprised. Kraft got out, but just not communicating early enough between Schwartz and Kraft as to who's going to get that.
And so the bottom of the order, Avery Fantucci. Ramey is a perfect 4 of 4 stolen bases. We'll see if they try to bunt again. Chavez is back about even with the bag. Chart over at first, a couple feet in. It's a 2-0 count. Schwartz up to 51 pitches. The bunt is laid down. Nobody over to cover first. Good job from Kraft not throwing that one away.
I mean, great job by Michigan. That wasn't her first time showing bunt, so not having the defense be prepared for a bunt is a little questionable, but Kraft came out, got it, no one at first, so the coverage was just not there.
Chavez now, once again, halfway home.
Yeah, this is where things can get a little bit interesting with a slapper defense. Just it becomes a foot race of shortstop and the runner at second. So see what happens here. Maybe a bunt, maybe a slap. You never know.
The 1-0-2 Langford, runners on first and second, taking for a strike. We saw yesterday that the Michigan defense was playing Tobias so short for the bunt. She ended up just hitting one right through Erickson over at third base because, you know, when you're halfway, time to react to a ground ball. See if she swings away here. It's a 2-1 count to Langford.
But I think that's what's so good about Langford, too, is like she can do it all. That's why she has such a high batting average. And on-base percentage is she bunts, she slaps, she hits. So she can kind of just work around the defense.
And exactly
there we go.
Like it. And so they'll hold over at third, making it bases juiced for Janisa Conway. Well, just about the exact same play as we saw yesterday with Tobias and Erickson over at third. Looks like we're likely to get a pinch runner here for the Wolverines. They do actually have 2 arms warming in the bullpen. And so we'll have Lexi Delmonica taking the spot over at second. Bases loaded, 1 out. Conway 0 for 1 on the day. Yesterday she went 1 for 2 with an RBI and scored twice. Also walked. And it's the 3rd time right now through the Michigan order.
How did we get here? We got here with 2 bunts and then a hard hit ball through Chavez's legs as she was coming up close for a bunt. So not too much action outside of the infield, but able to load the bases off of it.
And we saw that on the other side Friday for Minnesota up until I think it was the 5th inning or so. The only Gopher hit that made it out of the infield was Kraft's home run. Schwartz working ahead of Conway. Leads the count 1-2. Michigan today 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position, 3 for 5 with runners on. Fouled off. Conway this season has 10 at-bats with the bases loaded, 2 hits and 6 RBIs. She'll foul that one off for another life.
Michigan hitters are just looking to drive in another run. We see Minnesota's defense is playing, corners are playing normal depths and then their middles are in the baseline. So I'm sure they're trying to limit a run, possibly get a double play.
Gophers still playing relatively deep, at least out and left. As you work over to center and right, it gets a little bit shallower. And called strike 3 from Schwartz. Brings it to 2 outs, still with bases loaded.
I mean, that looked like an absolutely pretty pitch from here. Seems like it just clipped the corner. We see a bit of surprise. Not quite sure what from. Maybe because the umpires had a tight zone, but that was gorgeous.
Well, great job from our third base cam and our replay crew for that look. And so in the box, it's Lauren Putz. At least off her first at bat, not who you want to face with the bases loaded. One count to Putz. She'll take in the dirt. Good job by Kraft staying in front of that one. And Putz with the bases juiced is 8 at-bats, 3 hits, 6 runs batted in.
Jeez.
Drive to right. It'll have 1 bounce and quickly retrieved back into the infield, but a run will score. And so Michigan extends their lead to 3-0 on the RBI single from Lauren Putz.
The right fielder with 25, Alex Stevenson.
That's about the best thing Valencia could have done, is just keeping that ball in front and then feeding it to her infield as fast as she can to limit the amount of runs scored.
So Ramey scores from third. Della Monica, the pinch runner, is held at third. Langford at second, Putz on first base, as Stevenson looks to get her second hit of the day. Ground ball up the middle, taken to second by Tobias. It's the third out of the inning on a close play, and the Gophers get out of bases loaded, 1 out, just giving up 1 run. Michigan adds to their lead. It's 3-0 on 7 hits, no errors either side. Minnesota has to get the bats going.
Yeah, but that's kind of what you expect from Derkowski. She's a very dominant pitcher. She hits her spots, doesn't miss a lot, and gonna keep pounding on it. She uses that changeup to really get hitters.
Well, Schwartz certainly would like to give herself some run support. She had, again, a very strong outing Friday. Hasn't seen much success at the plate this weekend, though. Did have that 1 hit yesterday. So he'll drive 1 foul and be behind 0-2. From Derkowski to Schwartz with 2 outs. Pitcher to pitcher. 2 strikes, pardon me. And it's a ball up high for a 1-2 count.
I hope we see a changeup.
We'll see what the call is. 1-2 to Schwartz. And a close pitch. That brings it to a 2-2 count.
Almost just as pretty. I mean, ball just barely misses the corner.
Schwartz 0 for 1 on the day. She'll foul that one off.
Derkowski's really stuck with the inside corner and jamming the Gopher hitters. And, I mean, you don't really need to shy away from it if it's working well enough for you. I mean, it's only the second time through the lineup today.
Pop fly, foul territory. Easily handled over to the left of third base by Erickson. And so we've got 1 out. And Jessa Snippes will head up to the plate. Foul over to the right of the first baseline. Again, for everybody except Tobias, this is just the 4th time of the weekend going up against Derkowski.
You see it there. She only has 48 pitches on the day today. So she's just been so efficient with her pitches. And we've seen a lot. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping track exactly of how many girls are just flying out foul. So not even making it to the playing field. She just gets such great spin on the ball, throws hard, and has a changeup. There's not much else you can say about her. She's great.
Well, it looks like 4 foul flyouts so far. 2 of those from Kraft, 1 from Chavez. And a shallow fly left center is caught out by Conway. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Well, 7 outs is a lot of time, but doesn't feel like it when you've struggled to get anything going on offense all game. Chavez, weak ground ball over to short. 6-3. And it's 3 more up, 3 more down. An incredible performance pitching from Derkowski sends us to the top of the 6th. Michigan, their lead up to 3-0 here on Big Ten Plus. We'll certainly have to give Putz credit for getting those 3 Michigan runs on the board. The 2-run homer and then the RBI single with the bases loaded. Again, Valencia, good job getting that one in quick. And we'll get a circle visit for the Gophers. Schwartz at 71 pitches right now.
As much as she can and in the right situations. It's just 2 bunts in a row, and then, like you said, that hard hit through Chavez's legs. A lot of them just seem to be a little bit of miscommunication, errors between the defense.
Called strike to Valmont, the catcher. Certainly something that we were talking about over the break with really this full season at Jane Sage is sort of conservative error calling. No official errors from that ground ball where you know, the strange play that was off Schwartz and they got her out at second. No error on that throw. And so both teams or Minnesota, I should say, with 2 sort of flubs on defense that didn't get counted as errors, but overall it's looked fairly decent. 5-pitch walk to Valmont, and that'll bring up Sealer.
In Minnesota's defense, they have looked a lot better these past 2 weekends that we've seen compared to the rest of the season, where they tend to let things get a little bit out of hand, but they've seemed to kind of find their own and are really sticking with that. They've had better communication, mind you, not in the 5th inning, but things do seem to have kind of clicked for them. Maybe a little bit too late into the season. I'm sure they were hoping this would happen early in Big Tens, but it came together.
Bunt laid down. Play from Chavez over to first. Good job getting it over. Both teams do their job. Minnesota gets the out. Michigan moves the runner over.
I mean, standard softball play. We see the bunt. Schwartz takes off to third. Great job by her for covering third, especially with the Michigan runners, keeping them off of third.
Erickson at the plate, and you know, Autumn, it has been this year a gritty Minnesota defense. They have, you know, Friday was probably one of their best defensive performances so far of the year, and it's good to see them getting better, as you said, these last couple of weeks. Michigan, they've been really strong on defense all year, except Friday they struggled a lot, and that's part of what let Minnesota in the door.
Yeah, and defense is a big part of it. I mean, especially if your pitcher's going to allow some hits, you know, your defense really, they understand that, and they're more ready for hits. But I think it just depends on how hard your pitcher's getting hit. So if they're missing their spots, or maybe, yeah, just missing their spots, missed pitches, it's going to result in harder hit balls, a little bit harder for the defense to control the ball.
Well, it's Maddie Erickson with a runner on second. She'll swing at strike 1 again. She had a phenomenal day, or pardon me, strike 3 after that timeout. She had a phenomenal day yesterday at the plate with those 4 RBIs.
First baseman, Maddie Ramey.
And so Maddie Ramey will step up with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. She had that single back in the 5th. She'll swing right through that one and even the count up at 1-1. Fly ball, deep left field, Cosgriff under it. And so no harm done by the Wolverines, 3-0. Gophers down to their last 6 outs. They've just got 1 hit. They've still put up the minimum number of batters. We'll see if they can get anything going when we return here on Big Ten Plus. It's been a very streaky season for the Gophers. Lots of signs of positivity, but things just working out a little bit too little too late as they start to settle down some parts of their play later on in the season. It's 7, 8, 9, Easton, Burnett, and Cosgriff. Ground ball, third base, taken over to first. And just 5 outs left for the Gophers.
The center fielder, number 1, Burnett.
Burnett with 1 out. Gophers as a team, 1 of 16 at the plate. One to Breezy Burnett.
You really have to just attribute this game to Derkowski. She's just done such a great job. She's such a dominant pitcher. This has been a little bit of an off year. Mind you, she's not doing bad by any means, but compared to previously in her career, she's still doing great.
Well, enters the game with that 3.67 ERA and a 13-12 record, which it's hard to believe when you look at the way she's pitched this weekend. 1-2 to Burnett. Swinging strike 3, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
I will say it is also amazing to see that kind of record, or even just Michigan's record itself, just with how great their fielding percentages, their batting averages, they have really high numbers. So it's almost unbelievable to see that many losses on a season with how well they have been in every category.
And so it's Cosgriff. She has the Gophers' lone hit this game before being thrown out on a very close play at second. And Minnesota's 5 hits in 18 at-bats. Derkowski's typical opponent batting average overall in the year is .217. And so the fact that in that shutout loss, the Gophers actually lowered, or I should say raised her opponent batting average, it's pretty impressive. Soft pop-up and caught in the infield. And just what a remarkable outing so far from Derkowski. She still has 3 outs to go, but it's 18 up, 18 down. We'll be back with the top of the 7th when we return on Big Ten Plus. And we take a look at the Big Ten softball standings. Michigan has had their spot clinched for a bit, but there's quite a bit of room that they could move. They could tie for 7th. They could also drop down to a tie for 12th.
So we've talked about before, that seeding really does matter in that Big Ten tournament, as the higher you are, the lower seed you play, vice versa. So it is really important for keeping your chances of postseason softball alive to get into the NCAA tournament.
Two strikes to the 9-hole Fantucci. She was part of that string of bunts and hits that got Michigan back on the board in the 5th. Schwartz at 85 pitches, getting most likely the complete game on senior day. Of course, she will have one more year of eligibility. And a strike 3 swinging. Kraft finds it under her feet, and it's 1 down in the 7th.
Second baseman, number 44, Indiana Langford.
Indiana Langford will step up to the box. Think about bunting and pull it back. Langford 2 for 3 on the day. Again, the highest average player on the team with 400. A 400 batting average, and yet a 427 slugging percentage. She's got 2 doubles and a triple, and just 4 runs batted in on the year.
Yeah, that's kind of what you get as a leadoff hitter, slapper, bunter, not a power hitter. So you get on base, just don't get too far.
Good job wrapping that play up from Chavez. 2 outs. And like we said at the onset of this broadcast, even if the Gophers pick up a loss, you'd still love to see just a strong outing from Schwartz with how these last couple weeks have gone and a difficult outing yesterday.
I mean, even just for the whole team, as a class of seniors that they're not going to a postseason, so not going to the Big Ten tournament. This is for sure their last game. You just want to go out on a good note, end your career on a high.
(1-1) to Conway. She's 0 for 2 on the day. One of 3 Michigan batters batting above 350. That whole top third. She will ground out to Chard over at first base. And most likely that does it for the defensive portion of the Gopher season. But we'll see if they can win or extend the game when we come back. Gophers need 3 on Big Ten Plus. Michigan still on top, just 3-0. Tobias into the box. And she'll take a strike. Certainly fitting that 3 seniors to lead off the last inning of the season for Gopher softball, or what likely will be the last half inning.
I mean, such an emotional time. I'm not sure how they do it, going up into the box and not thinking about it. Definitely makes me sad thinking about it whenever I see anyone's career end. So.
(2-1) to Tobias. And she'll take to move the count to 3-1. 3-1 count to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 7th. And 5-pitch walk will get her aboard.
Now batting the catcher, number 13, Taylor
Taylor Kraft in the box for Minnesota. And she'll take, that is 4 balls in the last 5 pitches for Derkowski.
Yeah, we're seeing Derkowski miss her spots barely. I mean, not big misses, still good spots, but that is her first walk of the day. She doesn't walk too many people, so in the 7th inning, with a close game, not the best time to start missing your spots.
Well, there was just that 1 walk that came to Taylor Kraft in yesterday's game. One fouled off to the side. Now, Autumn, of course, it wasn't your final game, but your final home game was a 2-0 shutout against Michigan. How much were you able to, how did you stay focused on the game when all those emotions, coming up, especially when you've got still a close game here?
Yeah, I'll say it's definitely a lot easier when you know that your career isn't ending at that game. You still have the Big Ten tournament and possibly postseason to go to. But it is still sad nonetheless. I mean, you're leaving one of the best stadiums, in my opinion, in college softball with some of the best fans. So it's definitely sad. Sure, I cried on the mound, honestly.
Strike 3 to Kraft. That'll bring up Valencia. Gophers, 2 outs to get 3 runs.
number 21, Valencia.
Valencia takes for a ball. At the 3 hitter, Chavez is the 6 hitter. Certainly like to see her get up as well in this inning. 4th senior, 4th and final graduating senior. High pop-up from Valencia, caught in the circle. Gophers down to their last out of the season. It's Sid Schwartz. 0 for 2 today, as is 7 out of the 9 Gopher batters. The 1-0 to Schwartz. Yes, 2-0 count to the junior.
Those are some good pitches. Derkowski's still just throwing her game. I mean, I'm sure she's excited. As weird as it sounds, it is kind of, as a former college player, to spoil someone's senior day as a senior. It sounds bad, but that's what you want to do at their home.
Well, this could be it. Soft fly ball out to left. Ends the season for the Gophers. Michigan going ahead to play in the Big Ten tournament. The final regular season records, Michigan 34-19, 11-11 conference play. Minnesota 20 and 30, 5 and 17 in conference play. Your final score, Michigan 3, Minnesota 0. Michigan, those 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Minnesota, 1 hit.
Yeah, and thank you, Sam. It's your last game, your senior day as well. So it's been amazing working with you, and thank you from all of us here.